we go. Today I'm going to show you 5 quick piano blues licks for beginners. I only wish someone had shown me these licks and these riffs when I started playing. So let's start with the very first one. The first one I'm going to show you comes from the C blues scale, the C minor blues scale. And on our YouTube channel at the London Contemporary School of Piano, we have plenty of videos with the blues scale, so you can study this separately. This is the C blues scale. But I'm going to hone in on the first 4 notes of this blues scale to create this first riff. Often in the blues, it's the most simple things that are the most effective. And never forget that. You don't want to complicate your blues playing. So, look what I'm going to do with these first 4 notes. Now see what I'm doing with the last 2 notes, the F and the F sharp. I'm sort of flicking them on each other. I can even hold down that F and flick that F sharp on there. You might want to practice this on stronger fingers, but I'm playing this on fingers 3 and 4 to connect into the riff. So, here it is. Very, very simple, but it's a lovely ingredient you can sprinkle into your playing, even in different octaves or in other keys, on other blues scales. So that's riff number 1. Okay, let's go to riff number 2. And for riff number 2, I'm going to show you the Mixolydian scale. So many of you will be wondering, what is a Mixolydian scale? Well, all a Mixolydian scale is a major scale with a flattened 7. And we're going to use the Mixolydian scale to construct this next riff. I can also flick that E flat or D sharp against the E here. And I get this. And I can do this in other keys as well. So that's 2 riffs we've got now. Riff number 1 and riff number 2. Okay, now to riff number 3. This one is one of my favorite ones, and it's called a turnaround riff. It's often really good at the end of a 12-bar blues structure, but here it is in its original context. So this next lick consists of 6th intervals. So this is a 6th interval, a G to an E, an F sharp to a D sharp, that's a 6th interval, an F to a D, that's a 6th interval, and an E to a C. And it's also moving chromatically. You see I'm moving down in chromatic steps, like that. And this is how I transform it into a really lovely riff. I finish on the E and C together, but on these intervals, I break them into groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then together. I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, together, and again. If that doesn't make you want to jump on a piano right now, I don't know what will. And then of course, a bit of extra salt and pepper. Now, I just slide that D sharp into the E. This is a very common theme in the blues, by the way, sliding the minor onto the major third. You can do that in the blues pretty much whenever you like. Don't wait for someone to give you permission, just do it. So that's a classic riff. That's riff number 3. I'll demonstrate just with my hands so you can see the fingering that I'm using. I mean, you can also use a more basic fingering like just 1 and 5. But if you want a smoother legato, you can alternate between 2 and 5 and 1 and 5. Okay, so a summary of our riffs and licks so far. We have the minor blues one. We also have the mixolydian one. And the turnaround one. Now this next riff, I call it the Entertainer because it comes from Scott Joplin's favourite or famous tune. But I'm going to play it in a slightly different rhythm, so you really wouldn't recognise it necessarily as the Entertainer. So here I'm using like a chromatic scale, almost like a chromatic scale fingering 1, so 1, 2, 1, and then 5. That just enables me to get a smooth interface. And I want to go quite fast when I do this one. Really relax the wrist so you can get that speed. Yeah, it's a really fun one, this one. You can try it in different octaves. And of course you can try it on different chords. This is on an F major chord, because you're starting, basically if I'm on a C major chord, I'm starting on the second, the sharpened second, sorry, I should call it the flattened third, and then the third and the octave, like that. So I can do that on other chords as well, F major, G major. And take a little practice to get the speed you want for that one. So slow it down, really be patient with your practice. It doesn't happen overnight, you just want to go nice and slowly. Just look how I'm slightly rotating my wrist here. That really helps as well, just to get the technique right. And that leaves us with one more to go. One more blues riff. And it would be wrong for me to not mention the left hand. So let's just have one in the left hand. And this is a really great rock and roll bass line. It's probably more of a bass line than a riff, but let's learn it anyway, because we don't want to just sit on our left hand. And in fact, we're going to use this riff in the left hand to improvise sporadically these other licks we've learned, the other 4. This has got a nice sort of swing, or you could play it as a rock, where the rhythm is straight. Again, it's based on that mixolydian mode. I've got the flattened 7th, and the flattened 7th is used a lot in the blues. So I'm now going to, in the right hand, add these riffs and licks we've learned. You can play along with me. And if you're not managing to play hands together yet, don't worry about that. That takes time. So you can just play along with me with your right hand. Move to a swing now. Okay, so I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm going to change chords to F and G, using chords 1, 4, and 5 to play a 12-bar blues. And I will move around these riffs on the 12-bar blues. Wish me luck. So I think there's a couple of takeaways from today's masterclass that you should remember. The first takeaway is that blues improvisation actually doesn't have perhaps as much improvisation as you might think it has. There are a lot of preconceived melodic riffs and structures. Even just with those 5 riffs that I put together in a stir fry, there was a lot of structure there, and there wasn't entirely a lot of improvisation. Instead, I was more so curating those parts and adapting them together. So once you start playing around with these riffs, the next step is to start curating them, almost like I was doing there with the 12-bar blues. And that wouldn't be the only way to do it. That would just be a particular option. And if you do subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the bell and also checking out our other videos, you'll see that there are some steps on 12-bar blues structure and so on, and you can go and study those resources as well. But if you're really serious about your piano playing and you're looking to take it to the next level and you're looking for that extra support, we have a free blues pack that we're giving away to all of our loyal fans across the world, just as a token of our appreciation for the efforts you've invested into your playing. So if you'd like to visit our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, and ask about our free blues pack. It comes with some blues sheets and handouts that are really, really handy. It also comes with a secret seminar, a seminar we did for our school members only. What's very different about the London Contemporary School of Piano is, well, there aren't really many places where you can really get that real assistance and help, that sort of community with your piano playing. Unlike a conservatoire where you're expected to know all of these things and you're expected to bumble along, what we do very, very differently at the London Contemporary School of Piano is we really support people on their musical journey, and we build them paths and pathways for them to really succeed in their playing. So do drop us a line if you'd like to take advantage of our free blues pack, and I'll see you on the next video.